Hey, welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. Today we're doing an engine flush and motor oil change on this beautiful 2017 Ford Mustang. Or should I say Mustang? And this is the V6, that's right. This is no turbo, just the V6. And we're gonna go ahead and kick it off with our engine flush. If you're new to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. You can tap the little red icon in the corner. That way you can come back and watch this important information for your vehicle later. I want you to hear it before we do the flush and put the PI Performance Improver in. This is before we do that. Right now we're putting the flush in, and if you're new to my YouTube channel, definitely consider subscribing for a lot more important information on your vehicle. We do oil changes, transmission fluid, radiator coolant, and a lot of other stuff that helps get you better gas mileage, better performance, more power. So now you heard what it sounds like. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our flush. And what this is a super thin detergent. Very, very thin, and what it does is it breaks up all the carbon deposits in the crankcase. It also thins out the oil, and if you have a turbo, it helps thin it out so it gets out of the turbo ports, and also there's screens that can get clogged with sludge, and this really thins it out. And we're going to go ahead and put in our PI Performance Improver. Alright, we're going to start her up with the flush, and we're going to let her idle for 15 minutes. We're going to put in the PI Performance Improver, and what this does is it actually cleans the valves so they seat better. You get more compression. Also cleans the carbon deposits out of inside the combustion chamber. So over the course of the years, you actually get irregular volume of each cylinder. So it helps restore that, and it also cleans your fuel injectors. So your fuel injectors mist instead of squirting straight. You have a better burn, more horsepower and performance. And now this cap can be a little bit of a stickler, so you got to kind of nurse it a little bit. It's a double penetration flap, and it's got an exterior and then an interior flap, and you just got to kind of nurse it, because if you squeeze it in too fast, it can splooge out on you. You know, they say there's one great thing about Ford product. It comes from the factory with the problem already circled. Alright, we got our flush in, we got our PI fuel additive working. We're going to let her idle for 15 minutes and then we're going to drain her down. Time to go ahead and crack her loose. The oil pan's real easy to get to. It's right here. Got our 15mm socket. And we just go ahead and crack her loose. Pull down like butter. And there she is. Alright, we're going to go ahead and yank her out in the count of 3. A 1, a 2, and a 3. Oh, it's a long one. Wow. It's a huge one. And there she blows. Look at the way it drips when you do the... I jacked her up on the left side so she'd drain out more because the bolt drain is on the right side. So you can see how much more is coming out. And it's really thin like water after that flush. Alright, we're going to drop her back down and bolt her up. Alright, now we're going to pop off our filter. I'll show you guys how easy it is to get to. Right here, you can actually pop off this panel if you want to. You don't even have to remove it. You can actually see the filter right there. There's the Motorcraft Doggy Scraps filter. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to reach through this little hole right there and just unthread it. So basically you just go right here and just unthread it by hand. That's it. Easy as pie. Wow, she's a hot one. She is a hot one. Wow. Definitely going to use a towel on this one. Oh yeah. Oh, she's hot. She is super hot. She's a leaker. Wow, she really leaks to the center of the vehicle. Look at that. She leaks to the center of the vehicle when you crack that filter. She's a big leaker. Oh yeah. Big time. Right, now it's time to go ahead and prep our EAO oil filter. And what this is a huge upgrade over OEM. It filters at 98.7% efficiency at 20 microns. And you'll see the Ford product where that comes in at, quite a bit below. So here's the Ford Doggy Scraps filter, Motorcraft. And then there's the Amsoil filter. It comes all nice and sealed up. So we're going to go ahead and pop her out of her packaging. Really seal them nice. It's great. And show you what some of the differences are. The upgraded anti-drain back valve, that red silicone rubber, is much thicker, stronger, and it doesn't deform with heat. And it also keeps the oil inside. So over the course of the evening, when you turn your car off, let it sit overnight, the oil drains back out on the OEM filter. And you can see the difference between the thickness of the metal and also the type of the metal and how it doesn't corrode. You can see this one starting to rust, and you can see how it's a two-piece filter and it can actually come apart. This one is different design and it flows better. It has higher flow rate. Also the threads are upgraded so it won't strip as easy. And then the exterior cartridge is a little thicker just in case a rock bounces up and hits your filter. So the benefits are quite a bit when it comes to this filter. And the great part is you're good for 1 year, 25,000 miles. So you're only doing one oil change a year. And you have extra protection because 80% of your wear is on cold start. So when you start that engine and there's no oil and it runs dry, that's when you have most of your cold start issues. We're putting in our 520 OEM spec. We'll go ahead and fill her up about halfway. Put that liquid gold in there. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and wet her up nice and good. And we just use 2 finger. Sometimes teeny weeny filters need 1. But we're just going to get her nice and wet with 2 finger. Go ahead and hit our rubbers so she threads on like butter. And then get your threads. Now caution, when you get your threads, if you don't have rubbers on for protection, you can cut yourself, so be careful. It's that time to feel her up. We're putting in our 5W20 Signature Series. And this is 100% synthetic, so Mobil1, all the other ones, Royal Purple, they're all synthetic blends. And they're good oils, but they're not 100% synthetic. So this is what goes in jets. This is what goes in Formula 1 race cars. And to give you a perspective how much better it is, it outperforms Mobil1 Extended Performance by 4 times in the industry standard turbocharger deposit test. And basically it breaks down at 1/4 of the rate. And it doesn't thicken like the other oil. And it doesn't burn off. So it basically burns off at half the rate of the best Mobil1. And then the other thing is it also gets you better gas mileage. So there's less peristaltic drag on the crankcase. And you'll also make better compression because it allows the cylinders to seal better. And that's pretty much it. We're going to put our 6 quarts of oil in, motor her up, and we'll take her for a test drive. All right, here we go. Our first start up with Amsoil. 3, 2, 1. See what she sounds like. This is what she sounds like after the flush. Listen to how smooth she is. Now this car only has like 13,000 miles, and I wanted you to see all this sludge and kind of clumps of stuff that came out of it. And this is like a brand new car basically, but this gives you an idea of what Ford Motorcraft is. So take a look. See those little particles and clumps? Those are all little carbon deposits. And that's a 13,000 mile car. So basically what happens is they keep building up, and before you know it, shabooboo, you got all this blow by, and you're like, man, how comes my car doesn't have the power it used to? Well, that's why. So we're wrapping her up, and we're doing a little test drive to get some driving impressions, see what it feels like. So far, you started it, you drove it out of your complex. What's it feel like so far?
I like it. It's different. Engine sound.
Right. Doing a little rip around. Beautiful. So this is a 17, only 13,000 miles. Got a little bit of sludge out of there. Let's see what she sounds like. So how does it feel within the upper RPM? Good. Is it, what's the difference?
I don't hear much engine whine, and very smooth.
All right, awesome. Do you enjoy this video? If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. That helps out my channel. Also, if you're new to the channel, you can tap the little red icon in the corner, and then you'll be able to come back and watch these videos later. Thanks again, Graham. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on synthetic oil protection. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. All my information's in the comments section and in the description section. And that pretty much sums it up. And then also, we have our live videos on the channel every Thursday, 6 p.m. And you'll see me and Jeff doing all kinds of really cool videos live. If you ever want to ask us a question, shoot us a question there. And we'll see you back next time. Cheers to protection, protection, protection.